Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So today we're doing air signs, July 2025 reading. So we're going to do each air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and we're going to do a spread for career, and we're going to do a spread for love, okay? First we're going to do some Lenormand cards, and then we're going to clarify with tarot. So let's do Aquarius first. Aquarius, what can we expect in career? Let's do career first for July 2025. And this is a timeless reading, so if you stumble on this video later, don't worry, just apply it to the following month. Okay, let's get into it. This one wanted to come out 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have the Rider, the Clover, and the Sun. This is really good news, you guys. For career, Aquarius, your reading is really good, really bright. There's some very good news coming here. And I almost want to say it's more than just one message coming in here. It's almost like some good news, but like several messages of good news or several bouts of good news. Because with the Clover, you have like sort of a streak of good luck. That's what I'm getting with the Rider here. And there's one specific thing I think that you were waiting on or that you wanted to hear back from, whether it's like a job opportunity or project that's taking off. And that one in particular is going to be extra successful this month, July 2025. It's also going to be the start of a new beginning for you in this project, like this project or this job or this opportunity at money. This is going to be very fruitful for you financially. It's also sort of a cause of your hard work. It feels like in the months leading into this, or in the years possibly even leading into this, you've worked very hard for this opportunity, and now it's sort of finally paying off, and it's going to sort of skyrocket you into more success. That's what I'm getting. Excellent reading for career, you guys. This is really great news. So let's do 3 clarifiers in the tarot. Let's see what we have. Yeah, exactly. New opportunity, new offer, but this is something new. I don't feel like, I mean, it might be like a project that you just started, or it might be a career or a job opportunity that you just started, but it feels like it's relatively new. You might not be starting in July 2025. It might have been started within, like I said, the last few months possibly, but it's taking off in July. This is, and it's funny because the amount of growth that you will have is unexpected. It's sort of like not what you thought it was going to be in a good way. The Tower is typically something out of the blue, and it's usually something like breaking down of past beliefs or walls or things that you've built in the past. But partnered with all of these excellent cards, it's good news. It's like, and especially with the Clover and the Rider, like this is just something completely out of the blue that like blows your mind and is excellent. It also gives you the opportunity to sort of have fun with it. There's some like an element of fun here that I'm getting. It's not just work for you. And it's almost like the combination of a passion project with money, with prosperity. So like for me, a passion project is something that you really care deeply about, but it doesn't necessarily bring in the revenue that you're expecting or the income or the financial like peace, right? But in this particular situation, I'm seeing them partnered and married up excellently. It is not only like an opportunity that you're absolutely passionate about, but it's also something where you are making money and you're having your prosperity because of it. There's a part of it. Okay, so let's get 3 more clarifiers and see how we do. So over the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Knight of Cups. Sorry, zoned out there for a sec. Like, I don't know why my brain zoned out. Okay, let's take a look. Let me raise this a little bit so you can see them. Okay. You know what's interesting here? It happens relatively quickly. It happens out of the blue, but it happens very quickly in terms of like how it sort of evolves. It's not really, it doesn't feel like a process to me. You know how like, I don't know why the DMV is coming up in my mind right now, but it's kind of like, you know, like at the DMV when you go, you have to make an appointment, But in order to make an appointment, you have to go to the website, fill out what you need, fill out all your information so you can get there. Once you get there, you stand in line to get a ticket or whatever. I don't know how, I don't know if all DMVs are the same. But then you grab the ticket and then you wait for your number and then you go in and you have all your documents. It's like a big process, right? Like it shouldn't take that long. It's just, it should just be in there and out of there. You know what I mean? But like it's a huge process to just get some paperwork sort of taken care of. This is the antithesis to that. This is the complete opposite. This is almost like you're in there, you're out of there, and you're like, whoa, I was expecting like a whole process and the production out of this, and none of that happened. It just flowed, and it just happened so suddenly. I think you're going to be very happy with A, how quickly things move, and B, with the results. Specifically, the financial piece of it, because I do see a lot of really good financial like prosperity coming in for you. And this is sort of unexpected and out of the blue. But it's going to make you very happy because it's something that you feel passionate about. I know I don't see any wands here, and typically the wands cards are the ones that are like passionate cards, but you can see that. You can see the love that you have for something. It's very like, it's very like, I can feel that energy here. And with the Judgment card, I think you're starting to sort of see how taking this path has always sort of been your destiny in some way. Like maybe you had the skills or the capacity or the capability to make this thing, whatever it is that is in your life, in your financial life or your career life, possible. But it's only now that you're kind of like doing it. But you realize that this was sort of your path all along. That's what it feels like. So you're finally sort of being put on your path by like fate or destiny or whatever, the stars sort of align for you, and you're like, whoa, this was here the whole time. Like I didn't realize, you know what I mean? But it's very, very good news. So that's amazing for you. Okay, so let's move on to your love reading for July. What can Aquarius expect for July in love? July 2025. Let's take a look here. So July 2025, Aquarius, love. What can Aquarius expect in love? Also, there's several pick a card readings on my channel, so make sure to check those out if you guys want something. And I'm always open for personal readings, so that's always fun. Interesting. You have the moon, the fox, and the crossroads. So it looks like you have a decision to make here towards possibly the end of the month. There's romance here on the table. And what I mean by that is there's opportunities for you to sort of be involved in a romantic connection, entanglement. I don't know why I'm getting the word entanglement, but that's what I'm getting. Escapade, like there's something, there is a romantic element here, and there is the possibility of that for you here. There's also the sort of like calling or need to take care of yourself when it comes to that. So if you have been a person that's maybe struggled with setting strong boundaries with people, or if you've been too compassionate to the point where your kindness is mistaken for weakness, or you have overgiven in any sort of relationship or situation, if that's your pattern, something here is sort of telling you to make sure that you're looking out for yourself, whatever's to come in July. If it is a romantic connection, or if they are romantic connections that you're interested in, just make sure you check in with yourself and you sort of maintain your commitment to yourself and keeping your own mental, personal, physical health when it comes to interacting in romantic relationships this coming month. But that you are going to have some kind of decision to make in, towards the end of the month is what I'm getting. So let's see a little bit more about this choice. Queen of Pentacles, Star, Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Interesting. I am getting child energy here. I don't always get child energy with the Page of Pentacles, but with the Queen of Pentacles, it gives me a mother-son dynamic, or mother-daughter, or dad-daughter, dad-son. But there is a connection here between parent and child. It could be you and your parent, but there is sort of this dynamic of possibly having to take care of others as well. And that having that affect your romantic life in some way. You'll know how to apply that to your personal lives. But it's almost like it's possible that having to take care of others, like taking, you know, having a caregiver sort of responsibility sort of takes you away from your romantic life. Or even if it's like taking care of yourself, because this could also sort of be a situation where it's like, I hate to sound cliche, but you're taking care of your inner child, right? Or like you're taking care of like yourself, and you're figuring out your like, your sort of like childhood experiences and how that affects your romantic life. And so sort of caring for yourself is also sort of highlighted here, as well as with the Star card. The Star card can talk about healing. It can also talk about wishes coming true. But there is a lot of stability here, which I really, really like about your reading. It's going to be a very sort of emotionally healthy month for you, whether that is related to interactions with others and romantic connections, or just healing yourself in the process of some of the stuff maybe that you've gone through in the past, or understanding a little bit more about why you react certain ways in romantic connections. There is a sort of like feeling of falling away from some patterns that you may have had in the past, or at the very least identifying them and understanding that maybe you're better off without certain behaviors. But you're also coming out in your love, right? The star is also the star. There's also the sign of Aquarius. So you're coming up in your own reading. So again, I feel like there's this sort of repeated message of taking care of yourself, and however that looks like for you. And it doesn't matter whether you're single or you're taken, or you're looking to be taken if you are single, or vice versa, right? It's at the end of the day, the bottom line here is that you need to look out for yourself. And you need to check in with yourself and make sure you're doing okay. And that you're okay with, like, you know, the dynamic and where you're at in your romantic life in July 2025. Okay, so let's get the clarifiers you have. You guys, I always get so many repeats. It's insane. I say it in my other videos. It's like when I get repeats like this in 2 different tarot decks, which each deck has 78 cards, it's like Spirit saying, I said what I said. You know what I mean? Like, they're not kidding. I said what I said. I'm saying it again. So again, there is a lot of sort of stability here in your reading. You could have a potential romantic offer headed your way as well, where you're going to kind of need to make that decision of whether or not you want to pursue this particular person or entertain this particular, did I just take that? Yeah, entertain that particular person, right? Or that relationship connection. You know, it's interesting with the Lovers card. I feel like this particular month, and again with the Star and the Hermit, July is going to be a very emotionally healing month for you. And I don't necessarily get the feeling that you've been through anything traumatic recently, or anything like sort of big, or, you know, major romantically in the last like month or few months, or even like years. But I do feel a very sort of heavy, strong energy of healing some of these. It could be emotional wounds, negative habits or patterns that you've had in the past, toxic traits or behaviors, right? I do see a lot of that sort of coming together, and you shedding a lot of that negativity, right? That sort of those things that are holding you back, because I see a lot of emotional, like, almost alignment with who you want to be, or maybe even who you've always sort of thought of yourself as. Sometimes I think about like this thing that I hear, like the lies we tell ourselves, right? In terms of the lies we tell ourselves, sometimes we have these these very strong beliefs of who we are, what we like, what we want in life. And they sort of follow us for years, even though we evolve and we change into different people. And then we look back and we realize when we made these emotional goals for ourselves, or when we created these beliefs about ourselves, maybe we've outgrown them and we're no longer that person we continue to believe ourselves to be. So this month for you, July 2025, is sort of that month where you leave that behind and you kind of shed those behaviors, those feelings, those maybe even ideas, beliefs. Because you might need to have some reflection as well here. But I do still sense that there's going to be some levels of responsibility here that you have. Maybe balancing your home life, or, you know, taking care of others while also trying to take care of yourself. And those could be romantic connections. Like I said, they could be children, which is what I saw earlier. Or dependents, right? They could be fur babies. That's totally fine as well. But that sort of energy. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay guys, well, I hope you liked your reading. We're going to move on to Gemini. Don't forget to check out the channel for the pick of cards and the shorts. They're all super fun to watch. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, okay? So let's move on to Gemini. Gemini career. Gemini career, July 2025. What is the message for Gemini's career in July 2025? By the way, Gemini, thanks for being here. Ooh. You guys we are in, are we still? Yeah, we still are in Gemini season for a few more days, at least when I'm recording this. Probably not when you guys see this, but okay, let's see. So you have the coffin, the snake, and the fox. Okay, guys. A warning here. If it's your colleagues or your boss or someone like that, there's people in your environment that don't have the best intentions. There may be career sabotage going on. There may be gossip. There may be people not giving you the credit that you deserve, or taking your credit for things that you've accomplished. Or contracts or anything like that that are not honorable. Promises that are made or concessions that are made in your favor that are not honored. If you know this already, or you have an inclination to know what this is about, and you're feeling demoralized or sort of discouraged by this, do not be. Because it's almost like a challenge to make you stand in your power and like make you stand up for yourself or speak up. So let's see. Let's get some clarification here. It might also have to do specifically with money. Like there might be something where like you agree to get, like if you're, you know, like if you have like a consulting business or a contractor, you're a contractor of some sort, where you were supposed to provide some kind of product or service of some sort, and for this price, people, whoever signed or like promised you that they were going to pay you a certain amount, maybe they don't. That's what I'm seeing as well. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. I have this feeling like you're almost there. I don't know why, like I get this feeling like you're almost there. You just have to keep going. Like I said earlier, like if you're feeling demoralized or sort of discouraged because of this sort of toxic issue or whatever's going on, this problem that you're having, or these people that are being negative, it'll pass. Don't worry about it. It's almost like I said, a test to make you stronger, to keep going. There may be, oh, sorry, Five of Swords, Devil, and Nine of Swords. There may be, excuse me, there may be, there may be some things that you'll need to walk away from in terms of things that you wanted. You may not, this may be a sort of challenging month in terms of like, you may not get everything that you wanted. You may even not get the bare minimum that you're expecting of, or deserving of. And that's going to be your challenge for the month, because I do see this. And I see people, negativity. I don't know if people are bringing you down, but I literally see sabotage. like some kind of sabotage in some way, like someone's trying to trip you up or something, and I don't know why, but it's a very strong energy. Like it's like haters, you know what I mean? Like kind of like hater energy here. And you're feeling sort of trapped. And like I said, discouraged. I keep getting discouraged, but don't be. Don't be, because it's karma, you know? What goes around comes around, and that is guaranteed here. You will be fine. You are protected. You just have to keep going. It's sort of a test for you to keep going. So let's see. Let's move this up a little bit. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, Chariot. Yeah, you have to keep going. The Chariot is a very strong indication of you needing to push forward and move forward despite the challenges. That's what you're meant to do in this situation. Don't give up. Don't cave. That's what they're waiting. That's what they're banking on. That's what they're expecting, is for you to cave. Don't cave. Don't cave. Don't give up. Stand your ground. Even when times get tough, you need to stand your ground. Even when you don't feel like you have a strong footing, or you feel like you don't even have like a good argument legally, because this could be like a legal situation where it's money related, right? It could be career related, but it could be money. Like, so for example, you were renovating your house or something, and the contractor, like you paid the contractor and the contractor didn't show up, right? And so now you paid for services and you didn't get the service that you were promised. But maybe because you never signed an actual legal contract, they don't owe you anything, or it's vice versa, right? Because maybe just in words you were promised something, you're not going to get paid because now it wasn't a contract, so it can't be honored. So even though you're feeling like you don't really have maybe the law on your side, or like even an avenue or a way, a place to go for help, excuse me, sorry, I hit the table. Even though you feel like you don't have a place to go to for help, help will come. You just have to put in your the world will help you. Destiny will help you. There is a sort of like fated help here, divine help, whether it's your, you know, whatever you believe in, your ancestors, your angels, God, or whoever God may look like to you. They will help you. You will have help, but you need to put in the effort. You need to like put your best foot forward and don't budge. You need to really stand your ground, and it's not going to be easy, but you need to do that, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to succeed in this situation. Okay, so you got to keep going. All right, guys, so let's go to your love and see what messages there are for you in love. All right, Gemini, love, July 2025. What can Gemini expect in love, July 2025? Love, the stork or the storks, the fox and the birds. This is good. If you're single and you're on dating apps, it's gonna be pretty fruitful for you. There's gonna be a lot of sort of people, a lot of talking back and forth. I also see you opening up emotionally in some way. Like if you've been closed off, or if you've been sort of, you know, single for a while, or if you are in a relationship and you haven't really been connecting with your partner lately, because maybe you have other things going on. It looks like you're very busy in your career, right, and your finances, but I see you sort of opening up in the month of July 2025 more emotionally. Like you're more open to bonding and intimacy, in terms of like emotional intimacy, really connecting with your partner. If you're single, I see you finally sort of getting into a space where like you're actually giving it a shot, whether it's one person or just opening yourself up to meeting new people or dating or whatever that may look like for you. I see you being brave and trying something new, especially when it comes to your feelings and your emotions, and maybe even like opening up a little bit vulnerable, like becoming a little bit more vulnerable, getting more comfortable with your vulnerability than maybe you have in the past. I think you've resisted it in the past, and there's still a part of you that's still kind of resisting it, but I think you're going to be brave and you're going to do it anyway. Even if it takes a little bit of time for you to get there. But I do see having sort of like connecting, like, that's so funny. You come up in your reading as well. You have the Lovers card here. The Lovers. How beautiful for you to come out in your own reading. Aquarius came out in theirs as well. That's so crazy. If you are already in a marriage or a you have a stable romantic relationship, I see that blossoming for you even more. It's almost like you guys go down a deeper level. And it's not to say you didn't have that layer or that deeper level ever before, but maybe you guys just haven't been connecting the way that you have in the past. I see you guys reconnecting in that same way, having a little bit of a like honeymoon phase again in the month of July 2025. You have the Lovers, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. Yeah, this is kind of, I don't normally get this, but it's kind of like sexy energy. Like if you're dating, you're going to be very attractive, and you're going to be like actually finding people that you're also attracted to. You know how sometimes even though you put yourself out there, you're just not finding anybody that you really like or that you really vibe with or that you have good chemistry with or that even, you're even attracted to. I find that in July 2025, that's changing, and you're actually like, oh, this person's kind of cool. Oh, wait, hold on. That one's kind of cool too. Like that never happens, right? Or maybe even more than just two people, depending on your environment. But I do see that sort of like you almost feeling in a more attractive space. Like, like you're, it's almost like a glow up, actually. That's kind of the best way to describe it. And it's not just that you're having a glow up, but you're feeling it emotionally, internally. Does that make sense? You know how sometimes you could look nice, but you don't feel nice because maybe like for whatever reason, you're just not in your like safe space or your like best place. And so you could look nice, but you don't feel nice. This is you feeling good. You feeling good about yourself. It could also speak to me about like maybe you hitting the gym a little bit extra hard this month where you're like, yes, or you meet your goal of like losing the final 5, right? Like the 5 that stick that are the hardest pounds to lose. Maybe you meeting your weight goal or your, whatever health goal you have, your diet maybe. But I do see that. And there are multiple people, especially if you're single, I do see several options for you here. Different suitors that are actual, like, legit options that you like, that you welcome, that you want to get to know. And if you're in a romantic connection already, I do see you guys sort of, reconnecting and having that honeymoon phase again, which is very beautiful. It's like really, really beautiful energy. Wow. 10 of Pentacles. And on top of the Lovers as well. 3 of Wands and 5 of Swords. One of the things I'm getting is I know that you guys have a little bit of a tough time right now in career. Don't let your career life or what's happening in your career, your finances affect your A, emotional well-being and health, and B, whatever romantic connection or connections you're in. Don't let it affect your love life, because I do see it kind of being on the back burner and in the back of your mind, and it not allowing you to sort of embrace the moment when you're with that special person, or, people are getting to know whoever. Like if you're having money problems, I see that sort of filtering in and affecting your love life, especially in those sweet moments that you'll have in July 2025. Try to not do that. Try to be mindful and try to be like in the present when you're with, the person that you're interested in. Stay grounded. If you can like do grounding exercises or anything like that, whatever like, sort of keeps you in the moment, try to do that and leave the sort of financial life outside of this space. Don't let it ruin it, because it can be a very, very good month for you emotionally. Like like I said, in terms of connecting with someone or being like vulnerable and being intimate, having that actual intimacy. But I do see money problems or like the issues that you have at work or whatever, that sort of ruining these moments. Don't allow it. Don't allow it to. If you need to take some space to gather yourself and to come back to the moment with your romantic partner, do it. Just don't let it ruin the moment. Don't let it ruin, because you have a lot of possibility here to like connect with your person. So let's, try to keep that positive and try to enjoy, I guess is what I'm saying. Enjoy the moments. Because there's going to be a lot of really sweet moments, a lot of tender moments in the month of July 2025 for you, Gemini. I do see that. Yay, it's really sweet energy. I kind of want to sit in it for a second. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please check out the other like pick a cards if you are interested in any of those in the shorts and the videos that I have up. So thanks, Gemini, for being here. Let's move on to Libra. Libra. So what can Libra expect in the month of July 2025? Let's do Libra, please. This one wants to come out badly. July 2025, Libra. Do you want that one? Okay. The Coffin, you, and the Crossroads. Yeah. Are you recently single? I feel like you're either recently single or you're coming out of a relationship or some kind of connection, or even if it's a crush situation that never really got off the ground. Maybe you had high hopes or high expectations of it working out. If there's someone, if there's a connection that has ended, or there's someone in your recent past, or someone that you're kind of waiting on. I don't want to say waiting on, right? Because we don't wait, right, Libra? We don't wait for anyone. But someone that we have our eye on that we would like to sort of re-engage with. I think there's a potential here for like a return. But you're doing really well. You're sort of staying in your space. You're staying in your space. You're taking a passive approach. You're allowing it to come to you. You're not going to I don't feel you moving in the direction of that person. I think that person will likely come back up. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay. Yeah. It's, it's the same. So you have the Coffin and you have the Death card. And then you have you. This is the signifier. This is you who I'm reading for. Whoever you are, regardless of gender or sex. And an air sign, which is Libra. Libra is an air sign. Let me get one more card. I don't know why I stopped shuffling there. Let me get one more card. Eight of Pentacles. I'm actually going to get one more for that one. Yeah. Okay, so let's break it down. So this person, whoever it is, I feel like there's specifically one person that you have your either eyes on or heart set on, or like has your attention. It didn't work out, right? It sort of, they fumbled. They didn't come through. It didn't happen. And they're looking at you as well. They do want to pursue you. They do want to move forward. I'm not really quite sure on this person's approach yet. And that's probably going to be the next row, and they're going to tell me. But right now, the way that you're being perceived by this person is that you have very strong boundaries, and you're like, I'm not taking this. This person didn't meet your expectations in some way, so you are happy to move on. You don't need them, and they know this about you. You're also coming off as someone very mysterious, very attractive, very appealing. Someone that's sort of like, you're a little bit of a magnet for this person. This person can't really like stay away. You have a little bit there, you have a little bit of like you have like a bit of a power over this person, and this person can't like shake it. They want to come back, and we're going to see how they're going to come back. It may have been a work connection or something related to your work. You may have met this person because I do have kind of a feeling that this person's going to try to use work to kind of, whoa, weasel their way back in. Why did I want to say that word? That's scary. I don't know this person. No offense to this person. I don't know if they've been good to you or bad to you or what's happened, but they are trying to sort of come back in via work or work, questions or problems or, whatever that looks like for you, or some kind of really like material question. It might even be health related. Like if you're in the health field, or if they have some kind of question related to health, they might like seek your advice related to that. But they do see you as being very strong, very in your power, and not taking sort of any prisoners, if you know what I mean. Like you're not messing around, and they know that about you. They can see that. And again, you're not coming towards them, but they do intend on coming towards you. So let's see their approach. Can we please, oh, okay. Page of Swords, what else? Great. Magician, Knight of, I told you. This person's going to come look for you. I just don't know how. So, this person could likely reach out on however means of social media you guys use, or texting. If you guys have each other's phone numbers, or WhatsApp, or, if there's like another app that you guys use to like communicate. If it's a dating app, for example, even like whatever they use, like they are going to communicate that way. They are going to take charge as well. They are going to move forward with you. They are going to make their presence known to you. And what I mean by that is they're going to try to grab your attention somehow. It's not going to be a hey, like you up type text. It's not that. It's not going to be a lame sort of message. It's going to be something very specific, sort of like attention grabbing. They're going to try to grab your attention and try to like loop you back in. I think that's why I wanted to say weasel. And again, no offense to this person. I don't know this person. I don't know if they wronged you or they didn't. They could have been like the nicest person, but something about them maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to go down that road, but they're trying. There is a level of manipulation here a little bit. It's not ill-intended, so it's not like it's coming from a negative space or a place of trying to manipulate you. It's just trying to grab your attention, like trying to like, be special or be different in some way, stand out so that you notice them, so that you'll respond. He or she doesn't want to text you, or they doesn't want to text you something that you will likely ignore or brush off or whatever. They want it to be something you feel the need to respond to. But Libra, I will say that even if you ignore this person's like message, they're going to message you again. You're not getting rid of this person that easy. If you don't respond to this message, if you ignore this first attempt at them trying to talk to you and trying to get your attention, they'll just try again. Harder this time, louder, or more, more frequently if that's the case, or maybe even call you. But you're not shaking this person. So you have the choice. The ball's in your court, Libra. You get to decide if you want to like reach, open that door again or not, or whatever. It looks like you're interested in them. So I would say, entertain it, I guess. Totally up to you. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, air signs, so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the videos, and check out the other pick of cards. I hope you have a great July 2025. Take care. Bye. Hi, Libra. I'm so sorry. Your career. We got to do your career for July. I stopped recording and realized I missed it. So, okay. What do we have in store for Libra for July 2025 for career, please? Libra career. Thank you. 1, 2, and one more, please. 3. Thank you. So we have the ship, the mountain, and the scythe. Okay. So there may be something here that you're working on, that you've been sort of, there was kind of like a delay in something, like you've been waiting on something. First, I can see that you've been working on something specific, and you've been waiting for it to come to fruition, or for it to be successful or prosperous, or some kind of closure to happen, right? For it to kind of like complete. But it's been at a standstill. Well, this month, it gets going. This month, out of the blue, it starts to move again in a way that you didn't necessarily expect, because I think that you've been in this sort of waiting period. But it starts moving again, or it starts like sort of taking off, and it like, you see some kind of like result or product come from it. So let's see. What else? Okay, so you have the 9 of Swords. Wow, the 10 of Swords. My goodness. And the 6 of Pentacles. Lovely. This may have been weighing on you quite a bit. I don't know if there was like a high level of responsibility. I don't know if this is a specific, like maybe what it feels like is kind of like you have a job and maybe someone left recently, so you had to absorb extra responsibilities or additional responsibilities. And it's been kind of working you to the ground a little bit, and it's been stressful for you. And you've been doing more than your fair share of work. But in this month, July 2025, the scales even out again to where you're going to be in a more balanced place at the end of the month. By the end of the month is what I want to say. It could happen anytime within the month, but I see it happening by the end of the month for sure. And it happens sort of suddenly. I don't know if at your organization they like hire someone to fill that gap that you were sort of, you know, trying to fill, or it's, you know, a certain part of your very stressful responsibilities and job duties has sort of been removed, and now you just kind of continue on with the majority of the work, or the work that you feel comfortable with. But it feels like it's workload related, or maybe you're a seasonal, like your job is kind of seasonal, and so some seasons are more sort of hectic than others. And so you're kind of completing this season, and now you're going to be expected to just kind of relax a little bit more in the month of July. So let's see if we can get more clarification on your situation. So you have the Knight of Swords, the Devil, and the 3 of Wands. How interesting. Yeah, this sort of happens very quickly, this change. It takes you by surprise. You know, it takes you by surprise, but there's something, despite... There's a little bit of resistance here for some reason. Despite it being taken away, I don't know if maybe those additional responsibilities also gave you money, and now that's also taken away. So that I do feel like, at least for some of you, there's a little bit of a resistance here as well. Or maybe it was like the job title. There was something lucrative or something sort of appealing about where you were, even though it was very difficult for you, that maybe that portion of it you still kind of wanted to keep. It's also possible that this area of your job or position, or even your career, sort of taught you something, or you learned something from it, or it brought a different side of you as a contributor out that you're going to then kind of miss because it's not going to bring that out. So let me give an example. So for example, if it had to do with some kind of like negotiation tactics, right? So in this particular area, maybe you dealt with a lot of people, whether it was customer service or whether it's, you know, even being an attorney, anything like that. But there's something in this particular area of your career that pushed you specifically in your communication, whether that's written or verbal communication. And I think you're going to kind of miss that a little bit because you were being really pushed and you were thriving. But it was just too much responsibility for you. And you did feel a little bit trapped and like not really quite yourself. So although you're going to miss that part of you or how it developed, just it was meant to grow you, and like the experience is meant to be like educational for you. And that doesn't change who you are. You still have these skills. You just kind of get to like not have all of this like heavy responsibility as well with it. And I see things getting better for you. Also, again, I see a little bit more like peace and rest and like tranquility, a lot more like a slower pace than where you were at before. I see this being very like fast paced and heavy, and like, and even this could have even been affecting your physical health or your mental health. But I see things getting much, much better for you in the month of July. And I do think that maybe not in the month of July, although it could be, I do see you being recognized for the hard work that you did. So this doesn't go unnoticed for you, Libra. This period of time that you had to like sort of work really, really hard, and this sort of thing that you were waiting on that was like, you know, it felt like it was never going to come and it was like delayed, finally gets here. And I think that you get the reward and the recognition and acknowledgement that you deserve as a part of sort of stepping in, right? And taking these additional responsibilities or accomplishing whatever it is that you did during this busy, busy time. I think you don't go unmissed, you know, I'm sorry, you're not, it doesn't go unseen by your employer or by whoever else. And I think that there is an element of gratitude or recognition for it, for the hard work that you put in, or for this special skill set that you have. Awesome. Well, that's what I have for you, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful month. I'll see you guys next month. Take care. Bye.